Hey, what up, YouTubers and cousin truckers? It's your boy once again. You know, the usual. I mean, for those of you who have been following these videos for the past couple of months or weeks, you kind of know my usual spiel, because I had to take my grandmother from Fort Pierce, Florida to Jacksonville, Florida. And as I've said in previous videos also, I'm trying to put the least amount of miles on my car because my little warranty issues and things like that. So, you know, I'm trying not to reach my mileage. Man, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's the bike crew in the background. Because it is, and actually that's another good point. After I left Jacksonville, I actually decided to go to Biketoberfest in Daytona. So I'll definitely be posting that video, or either I've already posted that video. Sometimes you never know, because it takes me a little bit longer to edit these review videos versus the other car event videos. And like I said, you already saw the thumbnail, so you basically know what vehicle I got. So let's just get right to it. And there she is. It's actually surprisingly, it's a 2019 Dodge Durango. Usually these car rental companies have the latest cars, and so at first I thought this was a 2020 Dodge Durango, but I actually looked inside the glove compartment and realized it is actually a 2019 Dodge Durango. At night, when I took a picture and posted it, one of my friends asked me like, "Hey, is that a Lincoln?" And I'm like, "No, that's a Dodge Durango." So it is kind of funny how these lights now look almost like a Lincoln Navigator. This morning I'm actually in Lake Apopka, and Lake Apopka is the second largest lake in Florida, second largest freshwater lake, but it's heavily polluted. But I decided to come out here today to shoot this video since it's not too far from where I live. I know this video is supposed to be about cars, but if you ever get a chance, definitely come out to Lake Apopka. I swear I have gotten some of my best sunset pictures here from Lake Apopka, and I usually post those type of pictures on my Cuzzintruck photos Instagram. But yeah, if you get a chance, definitely come out to Lake Apopka. But getting back to this baby, the Dodge Durango, I will definitely say it's funny to me, at one time these vehicles were very small, then they made them very big, and then they made them smaller again. And I'm not sure what was the reasoning for that, but I definitely will say I like this one a lot better than the big one that they used to have. And this right here is the front end, which I just think, man, it is really a very sleek and nice vehicle. It's kind of hard to see with that sun, but yeah, I actually like these Dodge Durangos. I've kind of always liked the Dodge Durangos, and I actually like this version of it. And I don't know if you've seen another. I once posted a review of a Ford Explorer, and I had mentioned how I like vehicles that are all one color in the front and on the sides, and that is one thing I would definitely say that Dodge did well with this vehicle. At least this version. This is the GT. They actually made it all one color in the front, so you don't have all that crazy looking chrome stuff and all the different colors. And it makes the vehicle look smoother when it's all just one solid color and doesn't have a bunch of different colors. You know, that's just, I hate to admit, that's just one of my little pet peeves. Like I say, man, I actually love the grille on this vehicle. It's very nice and sleek. And I like because even the logo isn't too bold and doesn't stand out too much. And I like that because it makes the vehicle look just kind of simple, and, you know, makes it look a little bit more elegant when it's nice and subtle and simple. Actually, and I see now that this vehicle actually has 20-inch wheels. So it's funny because, man, it's funny to me because I grew up in the era of Cash Money, big timers, things like that, and they used to constantly rap about 20-inch wheels. And man, back then 20-inch wheels seemed huge, and most cars didn't even have 20-inch wheels. But now it's almost like 20-inch wheels are standard, so that's also kind of interesting. And let's go ahead and check out the interior of the vehicle. And this is the interior of the Dodge Durango. The interior is nice and simple, nothing too extravagant, nothing too fancy. As I've said, this is the GT version. As far as cup holders, it has, you know, one over there, two right here, and one over here. I will say this vehicle doesn't have as many cup holders as I would like for it to have, but it's also just a rental vehicle, so I can't complain. My one complaint is there isn't really a whole lot of storage space in here. Like this, so this button here basically opens up the top of the center console. And then there's a second button that opens up the bottom. And there just really is not a whole lot of storage space in here, which is kind of disappointing because, as some of you know, I actually like storage space. Right, and so now let's do the back seat test, because for me, I always like to see how comfortable the back seat of a vehicle is. I know that sounded kind of weird, but I do, and it's nothing weird, guys. It's just I always think about, like, man, if I have somebody riding with me, how comfortable would they feel in this back seat? So this is actually my first time getting back here, so let's see how this goes. You're getting my real unedited reaction to getting in the back seat of this Dodge Durango. And yeah, it's not horrible. Man, I will say, unfortunately, I'm 6'2", so where the seat is set right now is for a person who's 6'2". But I'm in this back seat right now, and it's a tight squeeze. It would seem like if somebody 6'2" is sitting in front of you, or in front of me, they would need to pull this seat up a little bit, because I don't know if I can show you this, but it's a little tight. And by the way, my toe is still broken, but see, as you can see, I'm like right there on the back seat. So that's man, there's no bueno. But yeah, and my toe is still broken. Actually, I just found out from the doctor that I may possibly have to wear this boot on my foot for another 2 to 4 weeks. So that sucks, but you know, thank goodness it hasn't stopped me too much. Okay, they do have, I just realized they do have some cup holders back here. I was kind of looking for those earlier, but the unfortunate part is, it seems like if you had 3 people back here, you know, obviously you couldn't use this center console. So you would have to, you know, you would lose these 2 cup holders, and I don't think there's any in the door. Okay, never mind. There's one on the door on this side and one on that side, so, you know. And like with most of these SUVs, oh, this is the one thing I love. Hold on. Oh, crap. So I see, oh, it's interesting. This one back here has heated seats in the rear, but it has the regular, like, house plug as an adapter. And I see here also, you know, this is where the AC is controlled. Unlike in the Ford Explorer, where the AC was actually the AC vents were right above your head. On this one, I see that down there, which is where I'm used to seeing those AC vents. And I see to actually control the air is up here at the top, which is interesting. You would have thought they would just put them all down there, but I guess there just wasn't enough room, so they put it up here at the top. I now realize I spoke too soon, because there are AC vents right here at the top also. I didn't notice those, so I spoke a little too soon. One other thing is, this vehicle actually has a 3rd row seat. So I guess it's supposed to be comfortable for about 2, 5, 7 people. So I'm gonna try to get into this 3rd row seat and see how that works out. So, like I say, let's get to that. Oh, crap. All right, guys. See, like I say, this is my unedited, you know, my unedited experience sitting in this back seat. And I now realize whoever had this vehicle last put the child safety locks on. So thankfully, I've learned with these videos to start letting the windows down, because it lets a little bit more light into the vehicle. So thankfully, I can at least reach out and open my door, because if not, I would have been trapped in the back of this vehicle, which is very interesting. So let's see what happens. I mean, you see that the seat is dropped down, but it doesn't look like it lifts up more in order to allow a person to get into the 3rd row seat. So now I'm gonna have to be like a child and actually climb over the seat. So let's see. Oh man. And as I said, I'm trying this on camera for the first time also. So let's see. All right, so I'm now in the rear seat, and I can definitely tell that, yeah, basically only 2 people could fit back here. Definitely not a spot for 3 people. And let's see if I close this thing down. I'm actually afraid to close this because I don't know how I can open it. But, all right, and yeah, it's actually pretty tight back here. And when I say tight, I don't mean tight in a good way. I mean tight in the way that it is actually pretty tight back here. The one nice thing is it seems like I've sat in the back of a Yukon and a Tahoe, and both times it was as if my knees were up to my chest. In this vehicle, you don't have that problem, but like I said before, it is pretty tight back here. So if you're 6'2", you may not want to sit in the back of a Dodge Durango unless you just absolutely have to, because there's just not a whole lot of space, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that, but there's not a whole lot of space back here. And then, you know, if you have this 3rd row seat up, that's all the trunk space you'll have also. And like I tell people sometimes, let me turn this AC off. And like I tell people sometimes, like I'm not a trained expert on this type of stuff, so I'm back here and I almost feel like I'm stuck because I can't find a button to push this seat down. But I did decide to calm down and look around, and sure enough, there is a little knob, a little rope. Hopefully you can see that. You pull this up and that drops the seat down. And like I say, that's kind of interesting, a little disappointing that there's not a way. Oh, okay, nope, sorry, I lied. If you pull this knob one more time, this whole entire thing does lift up, which can allow you to exit the 3rd row of this vehicle. Yeah, it's getting hot back here, so let me try to exit this vehicle without breaking my toe again. So let me see if I can slide on up out of here on camera. I'm gonna try not to, all right, that wasn't horrible. But like I say, man, ooh, and it's still bright out here, it's early. But as I said, yeah, it's definitely not a whole lot of space back there. If you pull this little knob, that does actually lift the seat up even more. So that will allow a person to sort of get back here on this 3rd row. All right, and so let's check out the trunk. I've said this in previous videos too, like sometimes when you rent a vehicle, you have a hard time. Hey, and it has dual tailpipes or dual exhausts. I have no idea how to open up the trunk, but I do like the fact that Dodge made it very nice and simple for you. And obviously this is the spot you would go to open the trunk up. It is the year 2020, even though this is a 2019. So basically everything is like automated nowadays. So you don't have to do a whole lot of work. Now, unlike the Ford Explorer and some other SUVs that I've rented, this one does not. This is the first one I've rented that did not have automatic seats, automatic controlled seats for the 3rd row. Like I didn't even realize you have to actually manually pull these seats down. So you pull this lever here, the headrest drops, and then the seat drops. And that's not too bad. I mean, you know, like I said, it isn't as fancy as some of the other vehicles that I've seen or dealt with, but that's not too bad. And it does actually give you a decent amount of space once you drop that 3rd row seat right there. So, you know, but like I said, I was just surprised that, like, man, this doesn't have automatic seats. It's almost like I've become a little spoiled and a little bougie, because I was just like, man, I'm surprised I have to actually manually pull those seats down. And then there's also some extra space under here that you can utilize if you need to. Doesn't seem like this piece comes off, but there is extra storage space there. So, you know, to me, this makes me feel like, you know, this is like a shout out to the old days when, before all this technology started with a lot of these vehicles and everything stopped being so computerized and fancy. And so to pull this seat back up, they actually have another little strap that you just pull here, and that pulls the seat back up. And just like the Ford Explorer, you actually have to manually pull this up. And so, you know, but it's not too bad. At least it has this strap that allows you to pull that seat up and things like that. And like I said, so much of this stuff now is automated. So when I was originally trying to shut this, I thought like, oh, maybe it's here, or maybe it's there. But the automatic button to shut it is actually right here in the corner. So that's one nice thing. So you push that button, you move out the way, and there she blows. Like I said, that is actually convenient that a lot of these SUVs now just have automatic buttons that you push that automatically close the rear hatches. So, man, like I said, it's early. It's actually getting kind of warm out here. You probably can see the sweat. I noticed I sweat on so many of these videos, and I'm sorry about that, guys, but you know, what can I do? I'm only human. So let's just do one last swoop around the vehicle. Overall, I will say this vehicle was very fun to drive. It had certain things about it that just weren't fancy like some of the other SUVs I've rented. And this is actually the GT version. They have like 4 versions of this. So I have heard that the version above this one, above the GT. Oh yeah, and it also has the daytime running lights, which are kind of neat to me, look very interesting. But yes, this is the GT version of the Dodge Durango. So I did hear that the version above this has a lot more bells and whistles for those of you who want to be fancy and need to be fancy to keep up with the Joneses. And overall, it was very fun to drive. I mean, it handled very well. Even my grandmother, when we were driving to Jacksonville, she was like, oh wow, this vehicle drives really smooth. And it could be because it's a new vehicle, but also not too long ago I rented a Jeep Wrangler, which was a 2020, and that vehicle rode horribly. And so I was definitely able to tell the difference between this vehicle and that Dodge and that Jeep Wrangler. All right, so yeah, there you have it. Right now I'm getting ready to head out, you know, go do some more exploring before I have to turn the vehicle back in. And as I've always said, you know, I thank you guys for always checking out the videos. I thank you for all the support. I thank all the people who walk up to me at the shows and tell me that they check out my videos and they enjoy the content. And like I said, all it does is kind of motivate me to keep going and keep trying and things like that. So please like, comment, subscribe, share, you know, tag, whatever, you know, just to kind of help get the videos out there, help me grow my channel a little bit. Like I say, I know these review videos are not the most popular, but they're good for me because it's kind of helping me be on the other side of the camera. Like I say, sometimes I do hate the way I sound in these videos, and I hate, you know, to see myself on camera, but I'm definitely getting used to it and getting more comfortable and things like that. So like I say, once again, I just thank you guys for all the support, and I'll holler at you next time. Deuces.